And another new thing for the remake is this end of day results screen, which, if you've played Stardew Valley or you've seen someone play Stardew Valley, probably looks very familiar to you. It's basically telling you how much money you made in each category and how much money you make in total. So the categories being vegetables, which includes fruit trees, various animal products, stuff that you got from the mines, fishing, and other stuff, which means foraging. So very similar to Stardew Valley. It's I wouldn't call it a bad thing, but I wouldn't call it an amazing addition. It's very interesting to see if you want to know how much money you make in each category, if you want to see what is the most profitable, so to speak. We have a birthday tomorrow, Bold, which, well, it's a sprite, so I don't really care. It's gonna be sunny, and that's the only channel I actually care about. We're also gonna change our clothes because I'm not sure if that's the same thing in this version, but in the original girl version, the mirror actually did allow you to change the color of your overalls. And if you did that, you did get a very minor boost to FP from the bachelors, but I think it was if you changed your clothes once a week, which sometimes I did that, sometimes I didn't, sometimes I changed it daily because I'm a very bored person in terms of appearances. And here we have Juan coming in and telling us that he lives with Zach and he has stuff for us, which cabbages are certainly very good crops for making money, but the thing is, one bag of them costs 500 gold, as we know, and they take 14 days, something like that, to be ready for harvesting. And it's already the 3rd, so you don't really have that much time to get enough harvests from it or have it really be worth your while and money. Especially if you do want to get the shipping 100 of them. Especially since you do kind of want to be able to unlock strawberries as soon as possible, which is among the reasons why I am trying to work on that already, since they are the best money makers. Ah, shoot. Either way, as you can see here, we didn't get any honey from that tree. The honey seems to be RNG based, so I've usually noticed it occurring during the weekdays, and then on a weekend it usually wasn't there. So it's a bit weird. You don't get honey every day, which is a bit disappointing because, as I said, I really like using it for gifts early on. And that's a nice 90 gold already. Can you see why the... blue herb. Why the tree is actually really nice, even if it doesn't give you honey. I was gonna say money. You do certainly get money from trees, but not as great as in A Wonderful Life. I am trying to focus on meeting the rest of the Hello Gots, meeting the rest of the villagers, because I do want to do that, as well as doing some foraging, because that does give you some good money. Anyway, hurry up a little bit so I can show the inside, because his insides, the inside of his house, has changed a little bit. So Harris still comes in here, but Gods' place is now a bit bigger because this is the new area added for the new male love interest, Brandon. You know, he has this little woodworking apprenticeship area here. Speaking of Gods, his appearance hasn't really changed that much. He's still the very bearded person, but I feel like his personality has changed quite a bit. If you remember in the original version, he was very stoic, he was grumpy at first, and he chose to isolate himself and live here and check out the mountain because his family died in an accident. They're here. I don't really get that from him. He's, much more open, he's much more friendly and all that, so whatever, it's a surprising change. So, I do want to get the first house expansion not as soon as possible, but I do want to get it pretty soon. And I need 150 wood for that and 50 stone. And it would take 3 days to perform that, so we can also... What was it? Oh yes, you can do the vacation house here. So, yeah. Let's see, he also sells some fruit trees. He sells us apple and grape trees. We already have a grape tree, yes. 2 R's. So we don't really need that. Mikan, sort of a type of orange, if I remember correctly. So he also has a few furniture things for us, like the clock, a bigger shelf, and the bigger television. So really not stuff that I want or need right now. But the house upgrade, as I said, is something I do want to get before the summer starts. Hello, Brandon. I was just talking about you. Ah, there we have a flower. Perfect. I'm gonna get to Brandon back in a second. Yeah, I want to get the house upgrade soon-ish, before the beginning of summer. Not for really reasons of I want to be able to cook, or anything like that. Ah, sorry, I'm fighting. Ah, I mustn't sneeze. But in my personal file, I managed to get the house upgrade done shortly after or during the week of the cooking contest. So that's really not a big thing. It's really not that difficult to do. So, something I do want to do, and actually I wanted to do it yesterday, but I didn't start, so throw a flower in here. Hello, Megami. Either way, I do want to start up and this time not forget throwing her a little gift in for 10 days straight, because that does give you the one of the power berries. Ah, there we go. Yes, I need to explain what's going on, although I suppose overall from the context you can tell. Guts greets us at his home, and he's like, "Oh, speaking of, I have, an apprentice now." So he calls Brandon over, and he's like, "Here's someone new I want you to meet." "Oh, it's you." "Oh, you two already know each other." "Well, kind of non-committal. I mean, we've talked." So we do sort of admit, yeah, we've sort of been, talking, but, nothing big. I'm not even sure if that's his Blackheart event or if that's just an event that occurs if you talk to Gots and then enter his place when Brandon is here, with or without having talked to him first. Either way, Brandon, new love interest. I haven't really seen much of him. I have seen the scene that we have just seen in my own file already, and from what I've noticed, he likes being gifted wood. Figure out an innuendo for that if you want to, but that's what I see. Considering I have some foraging on my hands, I should probably throw that in before I forget. Or otherwise... move it, Joy-Con! So, 30 gold for 1 blue herb, which is really good. 10 gold for moondrops. And 50 for a bamboo shoot. That's pretty good. Anyway, what I want to do... I don't think I'm gonna make it in time, but yeah, it's worth a shot. Okay. Well, like I said, I wasn't sure if I was gonna have it happen. Either way, hello, Rick. I wanted to drop by Zach's and get the fishing rod, but... Anywho... I haven't talked to you yet. I still stand by the Duke's redesign is quite different. I probably talked to you. Oh, there we go. Nothing from either of you guys? Okay. Wait, did I already talk to Gray? I think I did. Just in case I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, I talked to him. Ellen, hello. You actually looks like he's more closely related to Ellie now, because in the original version he had black hair and he was like, "Are you sure you two are related?" Pretty sure I can't go up there. Can I still go into the church? Hello, Carter. He's another extreme redesign one. If I'm moving awkwardly, that's because my Joy-Con is messing up. I might have to bite the bullet and get new ones. Anyway, something I wanted to mention, foraging is actually, not quite as lucrative as it was in the original version, because the foraging is now a bit based on RNG, because you're not gonna find foraging in the exact same areas every day. So while I did find some moondrop flowers in the forest, or even found 2 bamboo shoots, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna find that the next day. I might only find 1 appearing, or I might find none. Same with the tree here, it gave us only 1 bundle of grapes yesterday, and today we had 3. Either way, I should probably change that. $300, not bad. I noticed I was almost at 500 and I was contemplating if I got 500 gold by tomorrow, would I get a cabbage, a bag of cabbage seeds, but I didn't, and now I'm not so sure I was. Either way. And I just realized I really should have saved before going to bed. Okay. It's Wednesday. The thing is, if you will remember in the original version, if you linked up Friends of Mineral Town with A Wonderful Life, then Ruby and Van would appear in Mineral Town, every now and then. But of course, that is not something that you can do in this game, because don't have a link up to A Wonderful Life. Oh right, horse name. What do I want to name the horse? I named the horse Dazai, after the character from Bungo Stray Dogs. I don't know, he was the first one that came to my mind. Anyway, yes, we now have a horse to take care of. I do not have the brush because, you have to get the horse and then you have to wait a day and then Saibal has to tell you that you have to get the brush because he has it now available for 800 gold. Anyway, back to, oh yes, here, quick tutorial. The child horse needs, these little treats. You need to, be nice to it and you brush it, and after 90 days it'll be a big horse. And the difference is that you can actually ride the horse outside of your farm in this version. Again, the horse was not something I actually took a lot of use of in the original version. And we have honey again. Ah, wonderful. So now if I got an iron ore and had 1000 gold, I could get it done. Which, if you go here and then press plus, it shows you how far along you are for the various improvements. Oops. Back to what I was actually talking about. You can't link up to different games, and that's how you unlock Van and Ruby. We have already picked in the options that Ruby should appear, but so far, as I said in the previous video, I haven't seen her appearing in my game yet. And the same thing with Van. I read that he's supposed to open his store on Wednesdays at Doug's Inn, but I haven't seen him there, and I looked. On the 15th, he's also supposed to open up a pet store where you can, buy a pet, because as you notice, we don't have a pet by default here. We have to get our own, but the difference is that we now have a choice between getting a pet dog or a pet cat, and there are some other pets also available. Hello, Ran and Potpourri. See? No blue herb. Speaking of, before I move anything and forget, here you go. So, quick check up here. More flowers. Hello, Brandon. Ah, yes. These guys. In the impression video, I called these tri-flowers, which I then later went and double-checked, and no, they are not tri-flowers, they are toy flowers. I have no idea. Maybe my brain was seeing the Ra from flower and just mixing it up, so a minor thing that was sort of bugging me a little bit. So we don't have tri-flowers, we have toy flowers, and I might as well give you some wood. So, oh, hello Jennifer, the new female love interest version. Her story overall is that she used to live in the city, and then she got a bit like tired of city life, and that's why she went and she moved here into a tent that you saw there at the lake, because she wants to be closer to nature. 10 gold for tri-flowers. I still want to say tri-flowers. I'm gonna throw those in. Gonna get rid of this for a second. Actually, gonna throw those in there just in case, so that later on I do have toy flowers and such available if I ever need them. First things first, I want to quickly check Doug's Inn. Hey, Ron. Anything? No. Is he in there? I don't think so. That would be really rude. Or maybe he's setting up in here? No? Bothersome. First things first. Have some honey. I don't want to, I mean, you can wrap gifts for 100, wrap items to be gifts for 100 gold, but I mean, it does give you a significant boost, but I would rather not do that, especially because, you know, we already have such little amount of money. Hello, Ellie. Wait, what am I doing? Since I have one of those flowers. Yeah, she's one of them. She likes toy flowers, but the moondrop flower is like, meh. Still nothing? Alright. You were bold. I don't want to do anything. Here. Have some flour for your birthday. Keep running. Oh. Oh. Oh, look, it's Brandon. He's come into town, which apparently is not something he rarely does. Not something he usually does. He rarely does it that way around. And Zesh's just like, oh, you mean that guy that just, you know, came here recently? Yeah, that guy. Well, he is handsome, but he seems pretty rude. Yeah, that's Brandon. What? Sorry. I mean, I've seen this scene before, and, I still can't quite catch up to what she's saying. So those two are just busy gushing over how awesome Brandon is and like, yeah, he's pretty handsome, but he keeps staring at the sky. He's kind of like, he never looks at you and, doesn't have money or whatnot. And he's just like, oh, jeez. So he must be used to people talking about him like that. She's wondering if, they're talking about him is bothering him, but he's like, whatever, he's kind of used to it. Plus, he was actually just here to look at the sky because he considers the sky a pretty good inspiration for eventually figuring out new stuff to work out with wood. And these two are just still talking about him, talking, and oh my god, isn't he amazing? And he's not here. For a second there, I thought going in here gave me a scene like, hello, my name is Van. I have a store here. Really nothing. This is really bothersome because he does sell stuff. And as I said, he does have the pet shop. I haven't seen the pet shop. I only, in the beginning of summer, I double-checked Fogu to see if there was anything new. And there was a mention that Van sets up a pet shop on the 15th of the month. So as you saw, I finished, or at least I stopped playing my personal file from the 13th of summer onwards, so I was like just about to see it, if it was true, but I didn't, so we'll see. Either way, we're getting the fishing rod. And yes, we can fish in our own pond, but we have to stock the stuff first. Anything else? No. So he sells a goddess jewel, 50,000. Meh. Pineapple, which you do want to get eventually, as you as I consider them some of the, or if they are not the best summer crop. I don't think I'll get enough money together to buy the brush tomorrow because it costs 800. I haven't talked to you yet, but your place is closed. And I don't think I made enough money. Here's a quick tutorial on the mine. As usual, hammer and stuff, but the new thing is that you can find some holes which you can fall down to go more than one level down. But you do lose health. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. talking about Rick's disappeared dad, and he's like, how can he abandon his family? Oh, come on, you know that he only did it so he can find a cure for his wife's illness. So basically the heart and rival event scenes haven't changed. Although, as I have mentioned, there are some new ones added because they have been moved around, so to speak. I know that the overall consensus for upgrading your tools is don't do it in each step because, you know, it's going to cost you like 10,000 gold to do that instead of just using them until they are at mithril level for upgrading, and then you just... I have to sneeze again. And then you have to go and hand them over to Cybera for about 5 days or 6 days, and then you have them all at once for only 5,000 gold, which I agree is actually a bit better at times. But for the axe, I might upgrade it to copper when I have it available, because then I can destroy some of the bigger stumps and I get more wood that way. Here the way. I'm going to quick save.